Hi guys, how are you today? We will be talking about the legal, ethical, and societal issues in media and information. Let's talk about privacy. Privacy is defined as the freedom from unauthorized intrusion. It is also called as one's right to privacy, and it refers to the concept that one's personal information is protected from public scrutiny. So social media has become the spotlight of the world that uses to take a peek into everyone's private lives. So even more concerning is the fact that ourselves beam in our own personal lives. So our penchant for oversharing details of our lives online possess serious security concerns. So nowadays, social media has become linked to various stalking cases all over the world. Various social media platforms have incorporated privacy functions on their websites. So this allows the user to choose which information they want to share and to whom they want to share with. So we have blocking and reporting abusive users have also been made available as an added security feature. So these efforts, along with the current provision, helps to ensure everyone's right to privacy. So it is important to note that the self-discretion goes a long way in protecting one's privacy. Next, we have obscenity and pornography. So obscenity and pornography, although they are both related, they are not the same. So pornography is the term used to refer any material that uses elements of nudity to cause sexual arousal among the audience. And pornographic material is considered obscene when it crosses the lines to a point that may offensive. So the concept of what obscene and what's not in pornographic content may be vague or subjective. So this is because what might be obscene in one sector of society can be totally acceptable in another. Next, we have copyright. Copyright in its literal sense means the right to copy. The owner of the copyright has the exclusive right to reproduce, distribute, perform, display, license, and to prepare derivative works based on the copyrighted work. So this protection is for original works of authorship. So this applies to intellectual properties like images such as graphic designs, photos, drawings, and etc. And also it is applicable in written works like books, manuscripts, publications, and more. Also, when it comes to audio or audio content, it includes music or any other sound recordings, and also performances like play, movies, or shows. So a person or entities violating copyright commits plagiarism. And plagiarism takes place when someone else's work is used by a different person and claimed as his or her own. So this is considered as an act of stealing, and it can be avoided by acknowledging the source or the original creator through citations. So the exclusive rights of the copyright owner are subject to limitation by doctrine of what we call fair use. So when we say fair use, this is copyrighted work for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research is not copyright infringement. So you should take note of that. Now let's talk about the netiquette. Or netiquette is a shortened term for network etiquette, and this is a set of rules of behaving properly online. So these are rules that may not be strictly enforced or even regularly followed. Is important to keep everyone online in check. We have different guidelines to cover the basis of netiquette. Number one is to remember the human. through the technology, it is no longer necessary to be physically present to initiate interaction. So as convenient as it also creates a barrier between people that makes communication tricky. So even with the emoticon, emojis, and electronic devices still can't quite convey messages the way face-to-face conversation does. Putting oneself to others' shoes can put everything in the right of perspective. So remembering that the receiver on the other side of your computer or phone screen is another person, and it is vital to avoiding hurting others or others' feelings, and empathy is one of the most powerful motivations for some basic decency online. Next, we have rule number 2 is to adhere to do the same standards of behavior online that one follows in real life. So we have a saying that when cat goes away, the mouse comes out to play, right? So it is perhaps the simplest anecdote that explains human nature's approach in obeying the rules. In real life, actions have consequences, and something one would be wise to remember cyberspace. And good netiquette is derived from the same standards set in real life. So if your online behavior doesn't meet that, it will be a good thing to reevaluate your actions. Third rule is know where you are in cyberspace. So the cyberspace may be as vast as the actual outer space, with the amount of information and a wide array of users online. Divisions are bound to come up depending on domain. So knowing where you are in cyberspace helps in practicing good netiquette. Number 4 is to respect other people's time and bandwidth. Between school and works, social life, chores, errands to run, and safeguarding one's health, 24 hours is no longer seem enough, right? So it is important to ensure that one is not wasting it by delivering nonsense or unsolicited information. So when we say bandwidth, it is the information carrying capacity of the wires and channels. It connects everyone in cyberspace. Rule number 5 is to make oneself look good online. So people in general have a natural desire to be linked. So even on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, so getting several likes on posts, hearts on photos can definitely make anyone's day. And making oneself look good online means appearing as a decent, smart, the well-rounded individual through what one writes. So look good by being a responsible contributor in the age of the media information. Rule number 6 is to share expert knowledge. So both the great and terrible beauty of new media lies in its information crowdsourcing. So anyone with access to the internet can share data and information to the world. So while this raises credibility issues among many data found online, it is also increases the number of accurate facts contributed by experts. So experts contributing value information and making them available to many is indeed a positive effect of the media and information age. Next, we have help keeps flame wars under control. So we have what we call flaming, and this is what people do when they express a strongly held opinion without holding back any emotion. So one good example would be sharing strong political views through the social media platforms. Okay, since not everyone shares the same beliefs and supports on the same parties, the conflict between differing groups arises. So this is called the flame wars. So keep in mind that having the right to speech and expression does not give anyone the right to crucify others with a different view. So opinions are always allowed to be voiced online, but at the end of the day, everyone just has to agree to disagree. Next, we have respect other people's privacy. Privacy still remains a right that needs to be asserted. So personal emails should be treated as regular mails, only to be read by whom it was addressed to. So no one should access social media profiles of others without their consent or permission. You let anyone choose what information to share and who to share them with online. Respecting other people's privacy is not just good netiquette, it is everyone's responsibility. Next rule is don't abuse one's own power. So the cyberspace requires experts to be further developed and constantly maintained. So these experts have more power than any regular consumer. So the bottom line in here is, if one has been given some authority over online networks, he or she must not use it out of the context of one's own job. So power, even if it is as small as being entrusted with a Facebook password, must not be abused. And the last rule is be forgiving of other people's mistake. There have been no truer words spoken than the words "no one is perfect," right? So it is true that people make mistakes even online. So be forgiving of other people's mistakes, and forgiving other people for their mistakes isn't just good netiquette, but it is also a basic good manner. Next we have, and lastly, let's talk about the addiction and bullying. When we say addiction, it is being defined as an overdependence on something or a damaging need to do something. The digital age has now ushered an addiction that is gradually raising concerns in industries and society as a whole. So this addiction may be linked to poor sleep quality, anxiety, and also depression. Next, we have bullying, and bullying has always been a serious issue, particularly among the youth. It is an unwanted and aggressive behavior among school-age children that involve a real or perceived power imbalance. We have what we call cyberbullying, or bullying through electronic means. This is one of the many problems brought about by advancements in technology. So with the existence of smartphones, tablets, laptops, and 24/7 access to internet, cyberbullying can happen to anyone, anywhere, and at any time. So this may involve exposing embarrassing content about someone or sending messages with the intention of hurting the receiver emotionally or mentally. So there you have it, the legal, ethical, and societal issues in media and information.